Hello, 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 and welcome, family. Thank you for joining me today on another episode of Chatting It Up with Mrs. B. I pray you're all doing well and that blessings are pouring your way. All right, so I know we all stressed out right now because who cannot be stressed out with the current things that are going on in this administration? It's a lot. I understand that. That's why I always offer prayers and just to let you know that we are all in this together. Like, we all have the same struggles and we all are dealing with the same prices for everything. No matter what kind of income you have, we all having to pay the same stuff. And we all having to spend more money on everyday things that we are normally not spending as much money on. And it's taking away from other things that are important in our lives. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Cinco de Mayo just passed. Like, how we gonna celebrate Cinco de Mayo and we need gas? You know what I'm saying? Like things like that. Like, but I know the turn up was still real, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what we do. But I just want to offer my thoughts and prayers to everyone that is going through things, big or small, right now, because I know it's a struggle out here for real. So, y'all, my week was pretty much chill. We are almost done with baseball, and I'm not gonna say that I'm sad to return to a little normalcy of not doing much. I'm still gonna get the kids back into something else after a little minor break, but definitely looking forward to, some more chill evenings at the house or even, just finding other ways to be together as a family that don't involve, all these time restrictions and things like that. Um, the baseball team has been doing amazing, though. We've had a few hiccups here and there, but for the most part, we've been doing good and we've won majority of our games. So shout out to those boys. Um, and let me see. Oh yeah, so I am so sorry. I did miss a birthday last week, and I should not have missed this birthday because it's my big brother' birthday. He is my Taurus brother, not just my Taurus brother. He my real brother. You know what I'm saying? Happy birthday to my big brother, Jabo. That's his little nickname, Jabo. But his real legal name is Jarvis. So happy birthday, brother. I love you. I know you turned up. And I know that you enjoyed your birthday. But happy birthday to you. Many blessings on another year of life. I also want to shout out to my other Taurus family, Kamaria. That's my little cousin. Happy birthday, boo. I hope you had a wonderful birthday as well. She is bringing in the May birthdays for us for the Taurus season. So, shout out to all of my Taurus people out there. We had a lot of birthdays in April, and then we have a few more in May before we wrap up our season. So, y'all better watch out because the Bulls are bulldozing through, honey, and we ain't taking no mess from none of y'all. And y'all know that we don't play. All right. Anyway, so this week was, like I said, pretty chill. My daughter was spending some time with me. Y'all probably actually saw her in my little bonus episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. She peeked her little head in accidentally in one of my videos. But yeah, it was interesting having my daughter here because she's an adult, you know what I mean? So she's always been headstrong, but now she's feeling herself. She's about to be 21 this year, so she a little more headstrong, but it was nice having her. She attended the games with us and practices, and it was really good having her around. I know all the kids are missing having their big sister around. But, that was interesting, and then y'all, ooh, 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 my holiday or all the mothers' holiday. We have Mother's Day coming up, and I just wanna shout out to all the amazing mothers out there who are, being the heads of their families, taking care of everyone around them, and just, doing a darn thing. I wanna say, happy Mother's Day to everybody, and to the people who are missing their mothers, I pray that, you can make it through this season in a positive manner because, death is a part of life and we all know that. And, you have to find a way to deal with it and push through no matter what. we all live and we all are gonna die. So I know there's some people out there that's gonna be missing their moms. Take this time to just reflect on the goodness and the times that you did get to spend with her because, no amount of grief will ever bring her back, but you can always reflect on the good times that you had and the mother days that you did get to spend with her, just think back on all the good times. And just never forget that, your mom brought you into this world to continue on her legacy. And it would be a shame if you weren't able to do that because you were missing her too much. So just, keep that in mind. I am a glass half full type of person. I'm not a glass half empty. So I always try to find the positivity in things. So I hope nobody hears that and thinks that I am telling them to push off their feelings because never that. I'm just telling you to find the silver lining in every situation because that's how I approach life. Um, but another thing that I did forget about was last week I was telling y'all that from the Black Effect Podcast Festival, I did meet a podcaster there who shared his podcast with me. And I couldn't remember the name. I couldn't find it. I did find it. So I want to shout out to Reverse Psychology Podcast. And they spell reverse Reverze. And then psychology is instead of PSY, it's PZY. So shout out to Reverse Psychology Podcast, and podcast has a Z in it as well. They have a really good podcast. I cannot wait to, watch their upcoming episodes that they're gonna have. They have already some topics outlined that they're gonna discuss, and they have ways for people to join in the discussion with them. So that's very interesting. And I will be tuning in. Make sure you tune in as well and shout out to them. Another thing is shout out to my podcast listeners in Singapore and in India. Oh my gosh. Like your girl really is out here reaching other countries. So shout out to them and shout out to me. Thank y'all for tuning into my podcast. I really appreciate it. I want to make sure that I shout y'all out because I do appreciate each and every person who tunes into my podcast. And on rss.com I'm able to see like where my listeners are and, I look at it from time to time. I was a little more obsessed in the beginning, but I look at it from time to time, and I am just very grateful for the outreach that my podcast is making. I'm growing slowly, but I'm going to keep putting myself out there because the more I do, the more it will grow. There is another podcast festival coming up this year because I said, you know what? I was talking about what I was going to do next year at the Black Effect podcast, but I don't got to wait till next year, y'all. All I got to do is, go to this next podcast festival and your girl going to be in there. So there is a podcast festival that is coming up in July and I am going to go. It's a 2-day podcast festival. It is okay, here I go, trying to find my stuff again because I forgot about this, but I definitely wanna shout out this podcast festival. Okay, here it goes. It is with, the Podcast Summit. So the Podcast Summit is having a podcast festival from, Thursday, July 2nd until Friday, July 3rd. So it is a 2-day podcast festival, and it has like they have some courses and what do they call it? Workshops and things like that to kind of help you grow your podcast. Let me see. I did have the tab pulled up, but it went away. So the Summit Podcast Festival. There is also another podcast festival that I missed out on, and that is in Atlanta. There's another one that I missed out on, but I'm gonna just keep doing my research. I'm gonna keep going to these podcast festivals with my chatting it up with Mrs. B t-shirts on, promoting myself and just learning and growing. But the summit is founded by David Shands. And yeah, it's focused on helping creators, entrepreneurs, and brand builders start, grow, and monetize their podcasts through structured, high level networking and educational sessions. So that's really good because not only are you networking, you're also learning. And I really need that, of course, because I don't know what I'm doing out here. I'm just out here with a microphone talking, giving my personal opinion on things. And, um, yeah, your girl gonna be in the building. I don't know how many of y'all are gonna be there, but your girl is going to be in the building. And I actually didn't even know, but I follow David Shands on social media. He's been coaching me from the sidelines anyway. He's a black entrepreneur who you definitely should follow on social media because he gives out some free gems. There are some paid things that you have to sign up for, but I was watching one of his videos and I was like, wow, like I was already doing a lot of the things that he said without even knowing just from my own knowledge. So it just reassured me to just keep going and pushing. I am not a video podcast and I do not want to be a video podcast. I am more of like a radio podcast where I want you to listen to me. I'm not trying to be on the camera looking cute every day or once a week and all that, trying to get all made up. I just want you to hear the words. I want to be able to reach people while they're busy and they got things to do because everybody can't sit down and watch all the time. So it will be some content from here. From time to time here where you can see me in person. Like I have my bonus episodes of the Real Housewives of Atlanta recaps, and I am on camera for those, just to give you some face to face content. But the big thing is with podcasting is, it didn't start off at video. It grew into becoming more focused on video, but I want to go back to the old school way of just, hearing the content. And that's, kind of what my focus has been on for my podcast. So, listening to him definitely helped me know that I was going in the right direction. Um, they also are going to have speakers and guests there. I don't know any of these people, but Kev on stage is gonna be there. He coming to all the podcast functions. Okay, Kev. I don't know the rest of these people, but it's Cynthia Respert, Chris Sane, Donnie Wiggins, Omar Eltak Rory. I'm screwing up your name. I'm sorry. B Simone. I know B Simone. Okay. So those are some of the guests and speakers who will be there. So this is really cool, and it's in Atlanta, which is so amazing. I'm so happy, and I think it's at a hotel, I wanna say. But yeah, your girl gonna be in the building. If y'all gonna be there, make sure you, network with me, reach out to me, say hey, take some pictures. I'm gonna be making sure that I'm on point for this one. I was a little nervous at the last podcast festival because it was my first time. I had some ideas in my head of how it was gonna be, and, I just didn't know what to expect fully, but now Imma be more prepared and more ready. I know what I need to do, and so I'm looking forward to that, but, I'm gonna try to go to all the podcasts. They had some in Texas. They had another one, like, I wanna say it was New York or Tennessee or somewhere like that. And now it's gonna be a little hard to do the traveling ones, but I definitely want to try to hit up as many podcast festivals that I can so that, I can just continue rolling this train on out and getting more and more, knowledgeable about this craft that I'm digging into because I love podcasting. I've been enjoying it and I just want to keep growing and learning along the way because the more you learn, the better you'll be. And you're never too old to learn something new. So don't ever forget that. Okay. So, another thing that I wanted to talk about was the Met Gala. You know what I'm saying? Met Gala 2026. This new age fashion is a little different. I mean, I guess all fashion is different, um, I am somewhat, I would say, of a plain Jane. I'm just gonna be honest. Some of this fashion stuff just goes right over my head, and I don't really understand a lot of it. I'm just gonna be honest. I just be like, "What in the world do you have on, and you call this fashion?" Lord. So, I mean, but I'm gonna go over some of the looks because I want to just give my unbiased opinion. Okay, all right, are y'all ready? Buckle up because I'm not about to sugarcoat based on who it is. Okay. So first up on the Met Gala, so I'm going in order on this website that I'm on. Let me see, what is this? Harper's Bazaar. Shout out Harper's Bazaar because I'm using your content. But first up for them is Beyonce. Now, as we all do, I love Beyonce, of course. Like she is the greatest R&B singer of this time. Okay, we're not going to overshadow anybody else, but she's the greatest of this time. And I'm just looking at her outfit and I don't really like it. I don't at all. I understand the premise behind it because I've read a few, think pieces about it, and I understand that it's an up and coming black designer. But I just did not like it. It just wouldn't be something that I would want to wear because I don't think I guess it's a coat that she has on. I don't see how that matches with the gown itself. And the gown is just like more, it's like a fashionable Halloween costume. I don't know. It just wasn't for me. I did not like it. Next up is Rihanna. Um, I also did not like what Rihanna had on. It looks like a ruched garbage bag, honestly. And Rihanna and Beyonce both, they're very stunning women, but I just didn't like their outfits. Next up, now Little Blue Ivy. Oh, she is so cute. I wish they would have covered up her tan lines though. But Blue Ivy looked beautiful. Now I like that. It's very simple, age appropriate. Very beautiful. I loved it. And I don't have much to say about her because I think she did what she did and it came off good. Now, Kendall Jenner, it's a no for me. I don't like that one as well. Like I said, maybe I don't understand fashion, but it just is not speaking to me. Bad Bunny, very plain, simplistic. I don't know why he did the old man thing. Everybody was in an uproar about that. I'm not really sure why. Tiana Taylor, absolutely no. You know who she looks like? She looked like cousin It. Ain't that from the Adam family, the little hairy thing? That's what she looked like. I think I'm saying that right. Yeah, it's not giving for me. I just did not like that at all. Yeah, I didn't like it. Um, and I don't know who this young lady is, but I do like her outfit. Chase Infinity. Now hers looks really good. I like that, I guess, in a way. Madonna looked crazy as hell. I don't know, Rihanna. I mean, not Rihanna, Madonna. I don't know, Madonna. You look a little gothic. Was that the Titanic on top of your head? And all I just don't know. She looked like she was about to summon some demons up in there. And it's probably what was full up in there. They be having some crazy Illuminati stuff going on. I don't know, Madonna. Jenny, no. Kim Kardashian looking like a damn superhero. Lord have mercy. With the hard nipples and everything. Kim Kardashian haven't known how to dress since her and Kanye split. I'm just gonna say it. I don't know what Kim Kardashian is wearing, and I don't know how she became such a fashion icon when she misses the mark most of the time for me. Like I don't really ever like what Kim Kardashian has on. She looked like she could be in a superhero movie though. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Um, Now we're up to ASAP Rocky. Uh, I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it. I just really don't like it. Now, Doechii, okay, now, and I did say, I was like, is she barefoot? Yes, this girl is barefoot out in these people's streets. Like, honey, why are you barefoot? Like, that's off-putting to me. And this ain't really, I mean, I like it in a way, but I don't know if it's like, is it right for Met Gala? Like, you really basically naked. Like, she looks like she's in one of those maternity shoots, and then a little cover over her little boobie. Honey, she got a little boobie right there, and I see the nipple right through. Uh, I don't know. It looks like a maternity shoot outfit, but she does look very beautiful. I will say that. She is very stunning. I love the head wrap. Um, it's just giving very easy, like, not her giving easy, the outfit looks very easy to do. It doesn't look like something that was like, and it's supposed to be Marc Jacobs, like, what you do? Nothing, Marc? Like, you just threw it on her? Then we got Lisa, and she got extra arms on her outfit. Lord have mercy. What is this? See, this is what I'm saying, like, these celebrity fashion, I'm just not here for it. Ooh, Kylie Jenner. No, it's a no for me on that one. Hailey Bieber, it was almost okay until the gold top. That's what kind of killed it. I don't know what they put them two different designs together for. Um, Ayo Eddie Beery. I'm saying your name wrong. I'm sorry. I like what you have. Very simple, pretty, classic, beautiful, glowing black skin. You look good, girl. Sabrina Carpenter. I actually like what she has on. That looks really cute. It looks like some film though. It look like she got tape. Like the film from cameras back in the day when you have the disposable cameras and you got to take the film to go get it printed. That's kind of what it looks like, but it does look good. I'm not even gonna lie. She actually looks very nice. I love the styling and detailing of the outfit, that they did for her. And that's by Dior. Okay, Dior. And then I don't know who Alexa Chung is. I'm gonna skip some of these people I don't know. Jay-Z, nothing special. Nice suit. Oh my God, Odessa Azion? Lord have mercy. Terrible. Tate McRae, I do like what she has on. That's very pretty and regal. Like, I like it. Blake Lively. Oh, hate it. Ugh. I don't like that. Tessa Thompson, I really like her, but I do not like this outfit. And then when she got finger covers on one of her hands, ugh. And I understand everybody don't have boobs, but girl, don't wear something that shows you don't have boobs. Her chest is flat as hell. Like, no titties. No, none nowhere. Like, what in the world? Um, Cher, it's a no. Um, Maud, no. Leela Moss, Rachel Zegler. Got your eyes covered up like you in a horror film. Don't look. Oh no. Oh my gosh, Sarah Paulson with the dollar over her eye and the outfit. The gown is like giving Halloweenish, and then the gloves just do not go. I don't know who put that together. Anoke, yay, she looks amazing. I'm gonna say she looks amazing. I really like this. I really, really do. Very fashion forward. Oh, and she has the like melting tears on her face. I really love this. Very much so. I loved it. Everything looks great. Kate Moss, no. Why did you wear lingerie? You're not going to bed. You're going to an event. Gracie Abrams, it's a no. This doesn't go with your skin tone very well. Daisy Edgar. It's cutish. It looks like a cute little wedding gown, though. I don't think it goes for the Met Gala. Hunter Schafer. Looks like you were running from a hunter and you chafed up your dress or some shit. I don't know. Oh, this is Alex Consani. No, ma'am. Absolutely not. Hudson Williams. No. Amelia Gray. No. Oh, and here we go, Cardi B. I was like, where is Cardi B? Because Cardi B, what the hell? You know what she looked like? She's celebrating getting her fibroids removed. And she said, put them on my shoulders. Or, Dr. Pimple Popper, how she get those big ass bumps out of your skin. That's what Cardi B looked like. She walking around with two of those, what they call them? I cannot think of myfomas or something like that. It looked like that's what she carrying around. Your body look T though, girl, but that booty is still way too big. Waist very small, hips very wide, and then you got the bumps on the bottom of the dress. So mm, no, it was an absolutely no, Cardi B, and I don't know why they made you feel like that was gonna eat because it didn't. Paloma, no. Doja Cat in the plastic bag. Okay, Doja. I mean, I guess, honey, it's a no for me though. Gigi Hadid, absolutely no. What is up with y'all with this see-through shit? I don't think y'all look cute. No. Stevie Nicks, no. Look like you're trying to be in a witch movie. And Hathaway, what in the world? She has a hand with a dove. Is you sending somebody off when they pass away? Yeah, no, that's a no for me. Laura Harrier. It could be good. I can't. I guess the polls might be throwing it off, but she does look stunning. It is okay. I don't know if I like the wet clinging to you look, but it's okay. Margot Robbie, very plain. I guess it's okay. Oh Lord, Kiki Palmer. I did not like this from Kiki. It looked very promish. I didn't like the red hair with the dress because the hair is burgundy and the dress is red. Um, I'm not really feeling it, and Kiki know how to dress. Tyla, uh, oh Lord, them shoes. Those are some interesting shoes with the open fronts and the sides. I don't know. It's okay. Tyla looks beautiful. The dress is not my favorite though. It looks like it's like a low rider, like it's falling off of her like body. So I don't know. I don't really like that. Maybe if it was a little higher up on the hips. And a duped as Quiche. Is she pregnant? I think she's pregnant. I don't want to assume, but it looks like she's holding her belly. It's very interesting. The shoes are very interesting as well. I don't think they really go though. I wouldn't wear those shoes with that outfit. It looks good-ish. I just can't really tell the detail of the dress because it's all black. Rachel Senotes, oh gosh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Chris Jenner? Oh my gosh, who told you to come out here looking like you ready to go to bed in your moo No, Chris Jenner. Gabrielle Union, very beautiful, very regal. I like it. It's just regular. Grace, no. Suki Waterhouse. I didn't even know there was another Suki. Oh, but this is a no for me. Rosie Hunting, no. Audrey, no. I'm trying to make sure I don't miss any more of our peoples because that's what I'm really here for. Let's see. But some of these people, I don't even know who they are. Wait, how y'all get in here? Zoe Kravitz, no. Nicole Kidman, oh my goodness. And Connor, what was you, Connor? Is you trying to be your the cutest office lady? Cause that what you kind of look like. You was looking for like an office lady. I like that top though. You need to give it to me. Arena, no, absolutely not. With your man body. Elizabeth, no, girl. You just look like you just woke up. Okay, and who is these two ladies? I don't know, but no, it's a no. Am I missing anybody else? Let's see. It's a lot of people, y'all. Bear with me. And now it doesn't want to show me the rest of the fashions. Y'all don't want to show me the rest of them? Okay. Harper's Bazaar. What happened? Okay, well, I guess then we're gonna wrap that up. I hope I ain't missed anybody, any of our peoples, you know what I'm saying? But that was, it wasn't really, I didn't really like it. I'm just gonna say that. It wasn't the, best looking, Met Gala that I've seen in a long time. I don't know what the theme was. These themes be a little crazy too, so I don't know. Alright, so next subject, we are on to, um alright, so after the Met Gala, we're gonna get into some serious matters because I was listening to my girls on We Talk Back. Shout out AJ and Tam Bam. Um, talking about childhood obesity, and that is a touchy subject for me because I know I'm gonna ruffle some feathers, but I just want to say that as a parent, because I am a mom and I'm not just giving my unbiased opinion on this, your children are able to consume what you allow them to consume. And I am a big snacker. My kids are big snackers. We do have treats and snacks in our, but one thing about it is, and I don't restrict my kids. I let them have free reign because none of them have any weight problems. The moment that it becomes a problem though, there will be all kinds of restrictions in place. And so, my kids have just been lucky to not, have any problems from their weight with their snacking. So I haven't had to do that so far. But the moment that it becomes a problem, we're gonna automatically fix it. The moment that I notice any chubbiness, because we're all out of the age of chubbiness. You can be chubby when you're a baby. You can even be a cute little chubby toddler, a little bit, a little bit. But once your children start to gain weight at an unhealthy rate, you got to rein it in. Like, I agree with the ladies on We Talk Back that it is definitely a form of abuse. It is. Because what you're doing is while you are rewarding your children with things that they like, because they don't know. They don't know that it's unhealthy for them. We know that, but they don't know that. And so when you introduce your children to things like that and you notice that they're having a weight issue, it is, your job to make sure that that is fixed. Because I'm going to tell you, besides the health problems, the kids who are overweight do not feel the same as kids who are not. They are not treated the same. Like, do you know how bad kids get bullied for being overweight? Like, just that alone, you're affecting the quality of their life. And then when they're in school, they're expected to be active and to do things that other children are doing, and they're not going to be able to perform those actions as well because weight hinders you. Like, when I was growing up, I've always been small, but now, that I'm older, I struggle with my weight, and the heavier I am, it affects me being able to do small tasks. Like if something falls down, I gotta pick it up. I'd be like, Lord, because I gotta get this gut to fold in so that I can bend down. And do you know when I bend down, I can hardly breathe. So the things that I'm going through, it's like, kids are going through that as well. And then just feeling not as well because it does take a lot of energy to do regular everyday tasks. And kids are supposed to be active. How active can they be carrying around all that weight? So, it is something that falls upon the parents. I'm sorry. And I know a lot of parents don't want to restrict their children because my mom was the same way. She was like, I don't care. I bought it. You can eat it. I don't care how much you eat. You can have as much as you want. And that's not okay as a parent. That's just not okay. That's not the mindset that you want to teach your kids because that creates unhealthy eating habits. And if you already know that you are an obese person, why would you put that on your kids? Why would you allow your kids to have that same plight in life as you? You knew how hard it was for you. So why would you pass that on to them? And there is no such thing as we big bone and it comes in the blood. No, no, you eat bad. You eat bad and you allow your children to eat bad. And so now they're suffering the same plight that you're suffering. And so I know some people are not going to hear this, but this is the God's honest truth. And you need to listen and absorb it and don't take offense to truth being told to you. That at the end of the day, you have complete control over what goes into your children's bodies, and you need to make healthier choices for them. And it's going to be a lot harder the older they get to correct that bad behavior. So while they are young, make sure you start them off on a healthy path. And if your child gains weight a lot easier than others, then you're going to have to make a whole lot of different choices. There are very great choices out here that you can give to your children, but restrict them, stop buying that junk and that sugary stuff and make them drink more water or make them only drink water. Like whatever you gotta do. We buy juice, but we also drink water in this house. You know what I mean? So you just gotta change it up. But I promise you, if any one of my kids ever got a pudge, y'all gonna suffer. You know what I mean? Not suffer, because eating healthy is not suffering, but you're not gonna be walking around here just getting bigger and bigger and bigger and all out of control. And then I'm gonna have to deal with the outcome of you having health issues and being picked on at school and all that. No. So, extreme childhood obesity is increasingly viewed by experts and authorities as a form of medical neglect or child abuse when it stems from a consistent failure by caregivers to provide a healthy environment or manage severe health threatening weight issues. So it it is a form of neglect. It is because you're neglecting the health of your children and it's the psychological impact on them because they are going to suffer. They're going to suffer not just from society, but from within themselves. Just think about the self esteem of a child that's overweight. Yes, you can have high self-esteem, but you can also suffer from wanting to be like those around you, but not knowing the tools to get there. And then parents, it's your job to make sure that you provide them with the right tools because a kid will never do what they're supposed to do without guidance. I don't know many kids that just wake up and be like, "Oh, it's time for me to go to school. I'm gonna get myself up. I'm gonna get myself ready for school, and then I'm gonna go to school, do everything I'm supposed to do. I'm gonna come home, do my work like I'm supposed to. I'm gonna clean up after myself, and then when it's bedtime, I'm gonna put myself to bed." Kids don't do that. We have to tell them what to do. We have to give them rules. We have to set boundaries. And that is a rule and boundary that needs to be set in place just for your kids' sake. Take your ego and your feelings out of it and do it for your kids. Okay. All right. So I'm going to stop, I'm going to get off a little soapbox with that. I hope I didn't ruffle any feathers, but if they needed to be ruffled, then okay. Give you a bag of Ruffles chips. So we also are going to talk about the White House Correspondents Dinner shooting. So on April 25th, gunshots were fired near the main security screening area for the annual White House Correspondents' Dinner at the Washington Hilton in Washington, D.C. And the attendees were your presidents and your first lady, the vice president, and members of the cabinet. All of them had to be evacuated. It was the first dinner where Trump has attended as president. They identified a suspect, 31-year-old Cole Thomas Allen, who intended to target multiple people, not just Donald Trump. And he was arrested. He didn't get very far. He did run past the security checkpoint with, ammunition, but they were able to take him down immediately. One of the officers was struck in his bullet proof vest. And then he had Cole Thomas Allen had a little knee injury. But he definitely criticized Trump for his policies, and he he just intended to make things right. He said he's not willing to permit a pedophile, rapist, and traitor to coat his hands with crimes. Um, so he's been charged with 4 criminal counts of attempting to assassinate a United States president. And, they're going to give him the book. They are. And, I wanted to talk about this. I think it was Jimmy Kimmel. It was so funny. Because, on to the jokey joke. Let me see. Was it Jimmy Kimmel or, so one of the comedians said that Melania had a widow glow. She has a glow like an expected widow. And yeah, it was Jimmy Kimmel who made the joke. And they so mad at Jimmy, but that was a funny joke. What he was saying is that basically Donald Trump is so old that he looked like he about to die and that she's gonna be a widow and she gonna be happy. Of course she will, because we know she don't really like him. You can tell it. He paid for her. So, it ain't no real relationship, but his joke was made days before the actual correspondence dinner that happened. And so the White House is trying to blame Jimmy Kimmel when, honey, this man was planning this way before. It had nothing. It ain't like he said, oh, Jimmy Kimmel's right. I'm going to go and try to assassinate the president. No, he been planning that, honey. He been had that plan. You don't just do that on a whim. But of course, Donald Trump want him to get fired because that's what he does. But I hope they don't. I hope they don't, because it was a good joke. I mean, it was a really good joke. And Donald Trump has said worse things. It's amazing that this man can say whatever hurtful things he wants to say about people who are sick, who are people who are dying, people who have died. Like, he says whatever he wants. Anytime somebody says any little thing about him, it's the worst thing ever. Like, I mean, it's the fact that he is just so hypocritical, like, and has no sense of, you know, cool. Like, he just says whatever he wants. He says and does whatever he wants, and then he thinks that we're supposed to fall in line. And I mean, people should be able to say whatever they feel. We have freedom of speech, but I'm pretty sure he's going to try to take that away because, as you all know, they have changed the Voting Rights Act. That act was put in place in 1965, and it protected us against discrimination from voting rights. It prevented, polling places from turning away voters, and it gave us, the right and the freedoms to vote. We fought hard for this, or, our people fought hard because we didn't fight, but a lot of people fought hard to protect our voting rights, and now they're trying to dismantle them. And then they're going to tell us, and there's going to be people who are going to defend this and say, "Oh, but they're not doing anything wrong. They're making things better." This is what everyone is saying. I had a gentleman at my job talking to me about how Donald Trump was making everything better, and I'm like, "Oh, okay," because I can't say nothing because we're not allowed to talk about stuff like that. So I just had to listen to the foolishness. But they are trying to take away our voting rights. They've already trying to make it harder for us with, the type of identification that we need in order to vote, birth certificates and passports and your real IDs and all of this and that. So they're trying any and everything. And honestly, I'm just really sick and tired of it. I don't really see an end in sight as far as this goes, but I really am tired of all of this foolishness that's going on in this administration. And hopefully, just like this was overturned, I hope it can be, reenacted and that someone can stand up for us, because if not, then we just doomed. Also, the war is supposed to be coming to an end, but they haven't found an end yet. Donald Trump, of course, does not like to back down. He acts like he's a bit of a Taurus. Like, he stands on business and does not back down on anything. But I am so glad that we do not have to claim him as one of ours, because he is not, thankfully. But he, of course, does not want to back down. And because of this, our gas prices have shot through the roof. Like, let's just talk about how, not only are we struggling to put food on the table because they're charging us so much for food, now we are struggling with gas. Gas prices are so high, and it's really not fair to a lot of people who drive for a living. Like, let's think about this, because this is where it's going to trickle down. You know, if for us everyday people, we have to have our gas to go here and there, but we're not really driving, that much. We don't have a lot of places to go to. But think about the truck drivers who deliver our goods and services. Think about that. So if they're having to pay an astronomical amount of money for gas, guess who that's going to affect? So we already paying a lot for food. We're already paying a lot more for services, utilities, all of that. Everything is being affected. So now they're going to start charging us even more, because now, oh, well, it's costing us more to get these products to y'all. So now we got to make y'all, you know, pay more money to get the services that you need, because it's affecting us. And never do these companies say, "Okay, we have millions and millions of dollars. We'll eat the price of this and not pass it along to the consumers." No, they're never going to do that. Anytime any inconvenience happens to them, they are passing it along to us everyday people. Like, we just going to keep squeezing and squeezing and squeezing until there's nothing else to squeeze for us. I want these companies to understand that we are at our limits. Do not pass any more of your costs and fees over to us. We had to pay for these tariffs. Now we're about to have to pay for these high gas prices. And I'm just really sick and tired of it, because these corporations are filthy rich off of it. Never do they say, "You know what? We're just going to take less so that we can make sure that the people are okay." No, they're never going to do that. They're never going to say that the people who are under them matter more than they matter. Like, I I just don't understand the world that we live in, where greed surpasses caring for people. Like, the rich are so greedy that they don't care how much they're taking from parents. There are parents out here who can barely feed their children, and I'm glad that I'm not, you know, in dire needs. As it's not as bad as some people have it. You know what I mean? It's not fun over here. I'm gonna tell you that. I don't go out splurging, but it could be a lot worse. And I'm glad that it's not for me. But I'm speaking for the people who it is. People are already out here struggling to make ends meet. People are already doing the worst they've ever done. and they just keep piling more and more on us. And I just really don't know how much people can take. Like, it's really unfair, the um the amount of rich that we have versus the amount of poor that we have. And all these policies that they're wanting to get in here and change, I think that's what the change needs to be. I think the change needs to be that the wealthy stop gaining wealth off of the back of the poor. Like, that's just it. Like, there should not be this huge of a gap from the wealthy and the poor. And I'm not saying that everybody should be, able to take wealth from the wealthy, but the wealthy are taking from us in astronomical levels. They are not paying livable wages. People are out here working 2 and 3 jobs in order to make ends meet while they're lining their pockets. How dare you assign bonuses on a yearly basis when the people who work for you are struggling to make ends meet? That's what I mean. Like, they need to put a cap on these rent increases, and then not just put a cap on the rent increases, bring the cost of living back down. This is ridiculous. It is ridiculous how much the cost of living is right now. Bring the cost of living back down so that people can have some breathing room from all of these expenses. Bring the cost of living down. You can leave the the amount that they're being made at where it's at right now if you bring the cost of living down. Take down the cost of, insurances that we have to pay. Health insurance, life insurance, and car insurance. Those and what else? Property insurance. Bring down those insurances. Like, we should not be paying all of these astronomical amounts for insurance that we do not use. Like, come on. They are raping us year after year, term after term with these high ass insurance rates. And it doesn't matter if you don't use it or not because you're going in a bucket to help pay for the people who do need it. But and still with that concept, the people who own these companies are still millionaires and billionaires. So I just think there needs to be an overhaul change in how things are going in our society, and they need to be more fair, and we need to stop lining the pockets of the rich and start making sure that the people who are everyday working people and the middle class and the upper class, even them, we all need to be having a fair shake at life. These people who are rich and owning these corporations do not give a damn about none of us, and they're taking advantage of us left and right. And it's really sickening. It really is. I always say this, I've said this over and over, but I'm embarrassed to be an American with the way that things are for us. It's just they don't care about us. They don't care about the food that they feed us. They're giving us poison. They're making us sick, and then they're forcing us to pay these high prices for these for their medicines and medical care and all of that. Like, it's just really disheartening to be an American right now. And it's like we really need somebody that's going to fight for us. I don't know who that's going to be because all these politicians are rubbing the backs of each other and giving out, you do this for me, I'm going to do this for you. It's just really disheartening on a real personal human level that, we are out here going through the things that we're going through while there are people who are filthy rich sitting back, kicking up, and just enjoying life while we're not. Like, we really need someone who's gonna, make some real change for us. And if not, I hate to say, but the outcome is not gonna be good. It's just not. So, y'all do with that as you may. All right. So, the last thing I wanted to talk about is we're going to discuss um does it ever work when you spin the block on old relationships? I actually want to talk about a few relationship things. There's a few things that I want to talk about, but the discussion question of the week is does it ever work when you spin the block on old relationships? Uh One of the things that I heard that was very powerful is I don't know the name of this podcast panel. There's a podcast panel of Black people who and it's men and women, and they answer questions about relationships for people. And I actually heard the guy telling the girl that the reason why your ex wants to come back and get another chance is because they didn't finish hurting you the first time. And oh, I'm gonna tell you that right there, that one hit differently because that is so true. Anytime you take someone back, it ain't gonna be better. And one of the things I've learned in relationships is that you can push a relationship to a level that is it's unfixable. It's like after so much hurt and so much pain in a relationship, there is nothing that you can do to fix it. Like the damage is done. I don't care how many times you try. When you damage something so bad, like if you go and you go and break a screen right now, you can beat it to death and then you can try to put it back together and make it all pretty, or you break a vase. That's a good better example. Break a vase and then glue it back together. Is that vase gonna look the same? It will never be the same. It will never. You can fix it and patch it up and do everything in your power to try to make it look as pretty as it looked before, but it will never be that same vase that it was before. And that's exactly the analogy that describes a relationship that has gone through so much, and you try and you try and you try, and every single time there's a chip and a break and a crack in its foundation that never heals. So no, spinning the block on relationships to me is a no. Once you have hurt me so bad, and it doesn't even have to be like no like serious hurt. It's just little dings along the way, just little chips, just little cracks in the foundation along the way. Those little chips and cracks slowly eat at the foundation and the love and the trust and the comfort that you have in a relationship, that I don't care what you do to try to fix it and glue it back together, that crack gonna always be there. It don't matter how much gorilla glue and what is it, the other glue, hot glue guns and all. I don't care what you try to do to it. It's always gonna be damaged in that spot where you damaged it. Um, so I just want to tell people like spinning the block is not a good idea. I think if you recognize it beforehand and you don't let it get to that point, then yeah, you probably can spin the block on a relationship because you ain't let it damage you. But sometimes, and I know especially me, like I am I am the worst at staying in situations too long that aren't good for me. Like I am, as I said before, I am the worst picker when it comes to partners. I seem to, no matter how I try, pick the same kind of partners over and over again. They may have different personality types and different this and different that, but I pick the same partner over and over again, no matter what. And I still keep getting the same disappointing outcome over and over. And I don't know what it is about me that likes chaos. Something in me says, this is going to be chaotic. Hmm, this is going to be problematic. Let me do this. And that's not how I actually look at it. I think I look at people and I see their potential and I see that, oh, I can help them. I really think that self-consciously, I want to help those who are going through something. And I always think that I can give someone a better perspective. And it's just as long as they have somebody like me in their life, I can make whatever issues they're going through better. When in reality, I can't fix shit. Okay? I can't fix nobody. I really can't. And that's the problem that I'm running into. And so that's why I say spinning the block ain't going to work. Like once it's done, it's done. And so we have to learn, sometimes to stop while we're ahead. Stop overlooking bad traits in people and stop thinking that, oh, this is not that bad because they do this, this, and this. It is. It is that bad. And the only thing that's going to happen is it's going to keep coming around over and over again. So I will try to check in and tap in on that, you know, discussion on my social media platforms. My IG page is Chatting It Up with Mrs. B. Leave a comment under any of my posts or drop me a private message, and I would love to discuss, you know, um, further with you on the podcast. Give me your ideas and feedback, and I'll discuss it on the podcast. You can also go to my YouTube at the Mrs. B podcast, and you can leave a message under this week's episode as well. And then the last thing I did want to talk about is relationships with kids, especially if you're bringing kids into a relationship. I just want to remind people that you have to know your capabilities of being in a relationship with someone who has kids, especially outside kids, and even if you have your own kids, period. Kids are not something that come with a owner's manual where you can read what their personality is going to be like and what you can do to, help them, and what ways you're going to be able to communicate with them. Like, no, none of that. That is on the job learning. Okay. That's on the job learning. That's something you figure out on the way. And a lot of times we don't always do our best when we're trying to figure it out. Sometimes we stumble and fall. But one thing I will tell the people, anybody that's dating anyone with kids, anybody that's dealing with kids, period, because it's not just about dating people with kids, it's about being around kids, is one of the things you have to always enter a situation with is respectability. And you have to yourself, because no one else can do this for you, you have to sit down with them, those children, and you have to set boundaries. You have to speak to them on their level, not getting an attitude, not being hot headed, not being a disgusting person. But you sit down with that child and you speak to them like they matter, and you just let them know what you expect from them. And I promise you, that kid is going to fall in line because they're going to know that you're coming from a place of love. If you're not coming from a place of love and you're coming from a place of annoyance and not wanting to deal with that child, then they're never going to have that love and respect that you want from them. So each person is responsible for their own relationship with children, whether they're your birth children or they're your extra children. And if you don't have the capacity to be able to have an open mind and to love children, then you don't need to put yourself in that situation. Because one thing that you should never do is make a child feel unloved and unwanted, no matter how difficult they're being as a child. Because children will test the limits, they will push your buttons, but it's on you as an adult to be the bigger person in that aspect. So I just want to say, every child I've ever come in contact with, they've had a level of respect for me because I require that. I don't pussyfoot around acting like they can do whatever they want around me. My brothers have children and I love them dearly, but they know how to come correct with their auntie. And you don't have to put your hands on kids to make them respect you. And a lot of people think that they like, oh, if I can beat your ass, I beat your ass. Like, no. Talk about what you expect from them. Set clear boundaries and say what you mean and mean what you say. If you're dealing with a child and they disrespectful to you, let them know, listen, I don't appreciate that. I don't want you doing that anymore. This is how I would like for you to communicate with me. And if you can't do that, then I'm not going to be able to do X, Y, and Z for you when you ask me to do that. So we're going to have a give and take relationship. And if I ask you to do something, then that's what I expect. And a child will respect that way more than you flying off the handle at them. So that's my little two piece on that. You know what I mean? As an adult, you have to take being in the lives of children seriously. They are going to learn and they're going to form who they are as a person because of you. And it's either going to be a bad formation or it's going to be a good formation. So whatever you pour into them is what's going to come out into the world. So you have to make sure that you are making a positive impact at all times. And not everybody is made to be parents. I'm just going to say that even if you are a parent, sometimes you're not meant to be a parent. Sometimes you're not meant to be a step parent. And sometimes you're not meant to be around children at all. And so you got to be real with yourself when it's something that you're not able to do, and don't cause others to suffer because of that. But anyway, I do want to thank you all for tuning in to Chatting It Up with Mrs. B. I wish you all a wonderful day. And remember, be smart, be kind, be beautiful, be blessed. And until next time, bye y'all.